Welcome to Surrey, home to prestige pawnbrokers.
We'll look at almost anything of value. Handbags, fine wine, art, antiques, jewellery, watches, cars.
Here in one of Britain's most well-heeled areas,
What can I say?
clients pawn their luxury possessions in exchange for much-needed cash.
We think maybe 45,000.
This is outrageous.
With unique insight
We're at 1,000 feet.
into this most unusual business.
We've got my life in here.
Blimey.
This week we'll see big loans
Don't think you'll have any problems getting 90 grand for that.
on some spectacular items. And learn what happens when you can't repay your debt.
We can't give you your watches back.
Did you hear that?
Welcome to the world of posh pawn. In the 1950s, there were around 50 pawn shops in the UK. Now there's over 2,000.
Wow, I just love every minute of it.
Since the recession, we've seen a real boom in pawnbroking. Our clients are using our service in the same way they would have used a bank.
Good afternoon, how are you? What have you got for me?
2 rings.
Good afternoon.
And people from all walks of life come through the doors.
Jesus. There is no Dickensian feel about it. The business is opening up, it's fantastic.
How much are you looking for?
That was 8,000.
Weybridge is home to Surrey's Glitterati, as well as a pawn shop that specialises in loaning against the locals' luxury goods.
Good morning, Prestige.
We have a lot of wealthy clients. They have luxury cars, yachts, etc. Well, the one thing they sometimes lack is cash.
The brainchild of millionaire James Constantinou,
Do you know what this is?
No.
It's your lunch.
he and his team regularly loan six-figure sums.
No, they're probably about 180 grand, something like that.
And hear some extraordinary tales.
It was for somebody in the royal family.
Are you allowed to name them?
No.
So my gut feeling is it's doodah.
Prior to here, I did holistic therapy, which is massage. Now my friends go and say, oh, she does massage, she works in pawn.
The typical pawn shop customer comes in off the high street, but when you deal in high-end goods, some items are too large to carry.
So it's a Lamborghini. Do you know what sort of value the car's got? 120. We'll see what the value is and give you a call back if that's okay. Well, that was a Lamborghini Gallardo Spyder, which is a really, really sexy car. That is a work of art. That's not just a car, is it? Joe, what do you think of that?
Looks stupid.
That'd be ridiculous.
I've got a little baseball beat on myself.
That's the vegetarian in you coming out.
What's that coming out in you if you want that? That's a little Willy syndrome. That's what they say about men with cars.
Who
like
says that?
Us women.
Bringing in the Lamborghini is 27-year-old local lad Alan, who bought it for £180,000.
That's John Terry's Bentley, outside Mr. Jamie Redknapp's house. I know every area does have their rich and poor, but I think Weybridge does take it to another level. It can't beat that noise.
From his girlfriend's mum's house, Alan is building a motoring empire.
Yeah, I've just sent you one that I've got coming through. I think it lands on the 12th at the dealer. Black with black, memory, pano, keyless and Intelli light. I'd really want to draw £1,000 on it minimum, wouldn't I? I'm very money motivated, so I'm always busy. Pretty lucky you've actually managed to grab me for a couple of hours today, to be honest.
Alan runs a business hiring upmarket vehicles to people who want to keep up with their wealthy neighbours.
We are mainly concentrating on the higher end of the market, such as Mercedes, a Lamborghini. We've had a number of Ferraris.
Supercar stock doesn't come cheap, so to buy more vehicles, Alan plans to pawn the jewel in his motoring crown.
Trying to get it nice and clean for prestige, because I might be able to nick a couple more quid out of them if it's a bit cleaner. This one I do use personally quite a lot. It's very flash. Girlfriend absolutely loves it, and when the sun does come out, there's nothing better than driving a top-down Lamborghini, really. You can take it to Tesco's and you can also thrash the hell out of it. The money's just going to help us tie over for the next month or two. I don't know what we'd do without it, because the banks can take a very long time to process your application. About 100,000 would be where I need to be. I reckon my negotiation skills might come in handy, and I might be able to get him up to that 100,000 mark.
So will Alan get the six-figure sum he needs when he brings his car to the pawn shop? Loaning against supercars is everyday business in a luxury pawnbrokers.
Good afternoon, Prestige.
But their doors are also open to the weird and the wonderful.
I don't know what it is. I haven't got a clue. They're actually beautiful.
A couple of old military maps.
Doesn't mean a lot to me, I must say, but...
They look nice, though.
We've had Adolf Hitler's supposedly armband with some DNA on it.
Not sure if that was his bloodstains or a pair of his underpants.
Mine furious skid marks.
Last week, I had a lady come in and she actually wanted to inquire about scrapping her gold teeth. And I said, yeah, we'd look at them, but fortunately she never came back.
And today the shop has received another intriguing inquiry.
Thank you, bye. Guess what that inquiry was?
OK, what was it?
A lady called Hetty, who was married to a Ken Russell.
What, the Ken Russell?
Ken Russell, yeah.
Oh, blimey.
Catch rabbits, Louis Dog. Louis Dog.
Back in the 1990s, Hetty was the third of 4 wives of British film director Ken Russell.
In my mid-30s, I met Ken Russell on a film. He completely swept me off my feet. He was just extraordinary and brilliant and funny and just amazing. I fell completely in love with him.
When Ken died, he left all of his estate to Lisi, his 4th wife. But Hetty believes her past can still help pay for her future.
I'm waiting for my book deal to go through for my autobiography, My Life with Ken Russell, The Enfant Terrible, and hopefully soon, but I don't know how long.
With no book deal in place, Hetty needs funds to get by.
What do you think, Louis? Ooh, shall I pawn you, Louis? Ooh, pawn dog.
She hopes she can pawn personal items from her career and marriage.
We've got my life in here. Ta-da! My life! Ah! So much stuff! My treasures, my memories, my amazing life I've had.
Pawning personal keepsakes is an unusual step. Will Hetty be offered anything for her mementos?
Obviously, these things for me, they're priceless. So it's very difficult to pitch that in the marketplace. How much they're worth? I haven't a clue.
Standing between the jobbing actress and possible untold riches is Lawrence.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye then.
Right, do you know how to tell whether it's real or not?
Well, you bite it.
Part of the reason James actually hired me is I'm sort of the shop eye candy. The ankle chains were very massive, but they were actually worn by prostitutes. So I obviously relaxed on him straight away when they see my sort of adenoid figure, and obviously I work out quite considerably down the gym every night.
The friendly face of the pawn shop and one of the most experienced members of staff, he's been dispatched to value Hetty's collection of personal photos.
Oh, Louis Dog.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Lawrence.
Hello, Lawrence. Whoops.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Good to
Come
call you.
in. Would you like a piece of cake, Lawrence?
Not quite now, but I've also a bit of a mug for sponge.
Where should we start? There's so much. That's some of the wedding. It's our son Rex.
Looks lovely.
So, there's loads more photographs. As you can see, there's like millions of them.
I was very uncomfortable because to me, some things are taboo. They're very, very personal, but also you've got to think, what value have they got to anyone else but the person or the people who are in the photographs?
And here we have...
It's not the original wedding cake, is it?
part of the wedding cake.
Blimey. I was panicking, but I was hoping, please, please, please bring something else to the table. Luckily, she did have one little thing up her sleeve.
This is the Fontaine dress.
How did you acquire that?
I thought it was possibly Romeo and Juliet, but in fact it's Swan Lake. It's in two parts.
The classic ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lawrence's attention is piqued by a costume that once belonged to ballet legend Margot Fonteyn.
And it's got her name.
Oh, wonderful.
So that verifies it. Fontaine,
Brilliant.
prologue.
It is a really unique item. Well, the item that has to stand out is the Margot Fonteyn ballet outfit. That is the absolute pride there, and that's where most of the money will come from. Have you got no idea of the figure you're looking for?
No, I'm not going to say. I
You're
want
not
to
going
see
to say?
what you come up with.
Well, actually, it's always best to sort of give us an idea.
I'll say it in my head. Go for as much as possible.
Go
see
for
what
as
you
much
come.
as possible.
Yeah.
Have you got any paperwork with it?
Yeah, there was an email, so we just need to get them to probably resend it
send
if
me
I
an
can't
email.
find it. Yeah.
With no official certificate of authentication, proving the provenance of this promising item might be problematic. But Lawrence isn't complaining.
It's been absolutely lovely
It's
to
been
meet you.
so
You're really
lovely.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
What a lovely, lovely lady. I really like her.
It would be nice if, there was a big load of cash. So, fingers crossed, yeah, hopeful.
The pressure now falls on Lawrence. Can he prove any of Hetty's curious collection is worth loaning against? As pawnbrokers to Surrey's elite, James and his team are used to dealing with VIPs. But their latest customer, Hetty, the former wife of film director Ken Russell, has still managed to cause a stir.
What are they like? Any good?
It's all very unique, because it's not something you'd see normally.
The actress wants to pawn personal items from her marriage.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of family pictures.
It's like the cat that got the cream can, wasn't he?
So, some women have got it, and she definitely had it. She was absolutely lovely, and she makes a terrific sponge cake as well.
Well, that's always nice, isn't it?
She's so sweet.
You're in love, aren't you?
No, I'm not in love.
You are in
I
love.
like her.
He's a lovesick puppy, to be honest with you. That's what it seems like to me. But I don't let those things sort of interfere with my appraisal. Who would really be interested in some snapshots of his sitting around his home with his kids?
One item the actress hopes to pawn does intrigue.
So, what do you think of that?
I think you look bloody ridiculous in that.
It's Margot Fonteyn. That's got to have a good value to it, hasn't it?
Now that's of interest to me, you see.
Lawrence will need evidence the dress really did belong to the famous ballerina. Proving authenticity is a big challenge for pawnbrokers. And some areas are more troublesome than most.
Art can be a real nightmare. If it hasn't got provenance, we tend to keep away from it. There's so many fakes going around.
Oh, wow. What do we know about that, then?
If we get it wrong, we can really hurt the business. So we've really, really got to get it right.
Well, you fell in love with it straight away, didn't you, Jack?
I liked it straight away, because I like the colours. It's turquoise.
Yeah, you made your mind up you're going to have it, didn't you?
Well, I like the light on the clouds.
On the clouds,
because
they seem to shine up.
Two people who are confident about the origins of their artwork are Paul and Jackie.
But I think she's captured the spirit of Peter Pan really well.
They collect works by contemporary British painter Kerry Darlington.
I love it, absolutely love it. In every painting she does, I think there's a piece of Kerry, I think.
Definitely. We always see that, don't we?
The art aficionados are married with 3 children.
You're not going to eat it again? Yes, nice.
Paul has been out of work for 18 months and with finances tight wants to set up a new business, which means taking dramatic measures
Right, see you later, give me a kiss.
and parting with beloved items.
See ya. Be careful.
Just 12 months ago, they splashed out on an original painting by their favourite artist.
The vibrant colours, you can lose yourself in there. You just want to dive in there with her.
It looks at you.
It's
almost as if it's coming to life.
Exactly.
And every time you walk up the stairs and look at her, you talk to her.
This gaze does not come cheap.
And the price was £25,000, and that was all my inheritance and redundancy that I'd saved.
We didn't hesitate though, really.
No, we didn't. No.
We thought this is our one and only chance. So we absolutely both agreed.
Both agreed straight
jump
away.
in with both feet and grab it before she changes her mind. We've got to make a sacrifice, and this is the sacrifice, you know, we've
decided to make,
really.
Because the girls are now growing up, and we do need to make sure that they're supported for their future.
The cash-strapped couple have turned to the pawn shop, who are taking their painting to a gallery for valuation. Paul finds the parting particularly painful.
I didn't think it'd be this difficult. I didn't realise how attached I got to it, but obviously I have. I do wonder whether I'm doing the right thing. But
yeah.
For Paul and Jackie, the decision to turn to the pawnbrokers has proved a tough one. But they are part of a growing number of British parents using this type of service to get hold of quick cash.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I have a Hermes Constance bag.
It's ordinary families that we're seeing coming through the door that maybe we wouldn't have seen 5 or 10 years ago.
It was my nan's, and she gave it to me.
Over the years, we've seen a complete change in the type of clientele we get coming in. Now we're mainly getting families and using us instead of the banks.
I mean, do you know what sort of money you're looking for?
I took it to Harrods, and they said it ranges from £10,000 up to £24,000.
I need to have it authenticated by the valuer.
Of course, yeah,
okay.
definitely.
We'll contact you as soon as we know.
Fantastic, that'd be great. Thank you very much.
Cheers, bye-bye.
Thanks.
And in the homes of many ordinary families, there are some extraordinary items.
This ring is a present that my dad bought for my mum 20 years ago. He had a bit of a win on the horses, which enabled him to be able to afford to buy this for my mum, but he did like the horses, which my mum has put a bit of a stop to now. Now they've retired.
Georgina's mum is happy for her and her 2 sisters to reap the rewards from their dad's gambling spoils.
She just wants to see her daughters benefit from the money now, but we don't know how good the diamond is and how much it's going to be worth. I'm a housewife, and this is my husband Carl. He's a builder.
Pleased to meet you.
Good news from the pawnbrokers couldn't come at a better time for Georgina and her family.
With Carl being self-employed, we can have good times and bad. As our family's grown, you know, you have to be a little bit careful. We've had to cut back on some things, yes.
And the family are in need of extra help after a particularly sticky patch.
This year's been a difficult year because I've had to have 8 months off this year. I had a football accident and basically I ruptured my patella tendon.
Having him at home has been hard. But no, yeah, it has been hard.
I'm not the best patient.
Ringing the bell for me.
Now Carl's back on his feet, Georgina has a plan to help keep the family finances on track. She's making her first ever trip to the pawn shop.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
How are you? What can I do for you
I've spoken to
today?
you on the phone regarding this ring, which was my mother's.
Jesus. Who gave it to her? Donald Trump? This is one of the many great parts about the business. Someone walks in, they open up a box, and I've got the total wow factor.
All we know is that it is 5 carat stone.
Yeah, I was going to say between 4 and 5,
That's
so
all
5.
I know.
Blimey. And so you wanted to actually do a loan against it?
We're thinking maybe if you was interested in buying the ring, we would possibly want...
We'd definitely be interested in buying it. I mean, you got any idea of the money you're looking for?
We think maybe between 30 to 45,000, we think.
It's a beautiful stone. Oh, it makes my day when something like that comes in.
It's going to be safe with you. Okay.
Believe me, we're more secure than Fort Knox, probably.
Okay, all right,
There we
okay,
are.
so I'll just wait to hear from you then.
Yep,
all right,
lovely to meet you.
Thank you very
Look
much.
after yourself.
Thank you, bye.
It's not the sort of thing that usually excites you.
Wow, that's lovely.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, what is it, 5 carats?
5 carat.
It even looks big on my fat little hands,
I
look.
would be scared to wear that.
Why?
Like, it's massive. Right, it's lovely. It's really nice. She's a lucky lady.
But some items arouse more than professional curiosity among the staff. James has come to his lock-up garage to await young businessman Alan and the top-of-the-range supercar he hopes to pawn.
When James sees a higher motor, I mean, you can just see his eyes just glint over. He just gets so excited about it. It's like a child.
It smells nice. Yeah, it's very distinctive. And listen to this. I'd like a CD of that. I'm going to get arrested in a minute going around sniffing motor vehicles. Oh my God, did you hear that? That's amazing.
Alan has brought in his Lamborghini and hopes to strike the best possible deal with James.
How are you doing?
Not bad, thank you. Yourself?
Very good. Alan, this is phenomenal, isn't it?
Thank you.
It's
It's
absolutely
not bad.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You don't see many of them in pearlescent white, but actually seeing one in the flesh, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I believe if you're spending all that money on a car, you want to be seen, really, don't you? You don't want to sort of blend in with the crowd, so...
And heard.
Yes, well...
I'm liking the smell.
It's almost new, eh?
Can I have a little... Just
Yeah,
a
of course you can.
rubber?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm loving that.
Just be careful you don't wake the neighbours.
We don't care about the neighbours down here. What are you looking to get, Alan?
How much do you want to give me? That's the question, as much as possible.
I think I'd be comfortable around 80 grand, if that gets you what you need.
To be honest with you, it's slightly less than where I wanted to be.
Right.
I was hoping to get nearer to sort of the 100.
I don't think, Alan, that we're going to get to 100 grand on it. I think I'd be overstretched on my loan to value, so what about 85? How do you feel with that?
85. There's no movement at all to 90.
Let me have another smell of it.
Yeah, I'll give you the key if you want.
I'm just in love with it. You can have your 90 grand.
Lovely. Thank you
Honestly.
very much.
Cheers,
Thank
Alan.
you.
Thanks for bringing it
Cheers.
down, mate.
No worries, thank you.
Well, look, from my point of view, it's phenomenal to have this down here. Look at it, it's a work of art. It's automotive pornography, if you like. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful.
I did say it was going to be the battle of the businessmen, and I think I won, hands down, actually. So I might even buy James a beer to say thank you, but I'm very happy.
It's the start of a new week at the pawn shop, and for one regular customer, that means settling her debt. And reclaiming her item.
I've come in to redeem.
Yeah, 800 to pay.
It's nice and warm.
Is it? Nice and warm. There it is.
Yay!
Okay, should be still working as well. All right, I'll see you soon.
Well, hope not to see you soon, but you never know.
Take care.
Bye.
See ya.
But not all transactions end so smoothly. The pawn shop loans last for up to 7 months, and each week, boss James must assess all the overdue unclaimed items.
Oh dear. Oh dearie me.
This one's 8 months over and is owing us 4 grand.
And the bad thing is the gold price has gone down as well, so that may have affected the value. Basically, we try and extend it for as long as we can, but it comes to a point where it has to be sold and we'll have to recoup our funds.
And that leaves it with Tauren, bless him.
He was coming in, wasn't he, almost on a weekly basis, and then just kept getting extended and extended.
One customer is regularly discussed. He's nearly a year overdue on his loan against some watches, and now it's Joe's job to call him into the office.
You'll be all right.
Yeah,
You've got that nasty side of you. You just get.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, bless him.
I know,
I hate
but
doing this.
why don't we do a little rerun of what you might say to Tauren? You pick up that phone. Let's just imagine I'm Tauren now. I'm phoning in.
I hate roleplay, it's cringe.
Is
It's so cringe.
Is that prestige?
No, you've got the wrong number.
The problematic watch owner is Tauren, once a successful businessman.
You always dream of having a swimming pool, don't you? Everyone wants a swimming pool. Lucky enough, this house came up and it had a swimming pool, so I bought it. And now I can't afford it.
A relationship breakup and business problems drove the removal firm owner to the pawn shop as he struggled to pay his mortgage.
As soon as the housing market drops, the removal company drops because no one's moving. So once no one's moving, we get no work. So basically, we're in stock, really, to be honest with you. I obviously bought quite a big house. I've had other houses. I've had nice cars and stuff along the way. I've had a good life until everything sort of went wrong.
A recent house fire has set Tauren's finances back further.
Unfortunately, I'm not insured, so I've just got to stay in it as it is. This was all completely black like that, but I cleaned it off with Mr. Muscle and it come up quite well.
Despite his woes, Tauren still hopes he'll be able to reclaim his pawned watches at some point.
Say you haven't really sold them, you've actually given them to someone and took some money off them. So basically, you've got half a chance of getting them back. But I've got one, this is one of the last ones I've got now.
Tauren now faces a meeting with the pawn shop to discover if his debt will mean losing his precious watch collection for good.
You get to a stage where you think everything's against you. You can't do anything right. You just think you're getting right and then something else happens. And then you just get over that and you get up another hurdle. It's hurdle, hurdle. You just keep going and hopefully there'll be some light at the end of the tunnel.
Back in Weybridge, staff member Lawrence is busy with the valuation of actress Hetty's items. But James isn't happy.
Did you take the call?
Yes, I did.
Why didn't you get the guy's number?
Well, James, all the conversations that they want to push, it's not what you're thinking.
Every time someone calls up, please fill out a form because we're wasting time.
Yes,
I've now
James.
got an interested client, but all I've got is an email address to me. It
Yes.
isn't good enough.
OK.
So make sure we do that because it's getting on my tits.
OK.
Right, all right.
Hands up.
OK, yeah, but that's the second client in a row today that we haven't got a contact for.
You know, as a business, it is a bit of a roller coaster. So you've got to be on the ball all the time. You've got to be professional. At the end of the day, it's not my money, it's James's money I'm playing with.
Another bone of contention between James and Lawrence is the value of Hetty's collection of personal items.
James and I are pretty divided on this, and James is pretty astute. I mean, he thinks it's worth about 5k. I personally, fingers crossed for 20k.
The actress wants to pawn items from her marriage to the late film director Ken Russell. And a ballet dress that once belonged to dance star Margot Fonteyn. Hetty needs cash as she awaits a deal for her autobiography.
I'm not going to be insulted because there are bad consequences. There are very bad consequences. There are consequences that you will not like. I just have no idea what to expect, actually. And I don't know which item is going to be the one to be the killer item, as it were. Could be the Fontaine. Could be the Ken things.
Tell your agent to give me a call!
To discover exactly what Hetty's collection could fetch on the memorabilia market, Lawrence has turned to a theatrical expert in London.
Hello, Kerry, how are you?
Hello, nice to see you.
Kerry is an auctioneer specialising in vintage clothing.
Have you ever wondered what... There's a lot of memorabilia here. Obviously photographs.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
There's some lovely pictures.
They are, but they're very personal pictures.
Yeah, that's the only thing that worried me.
I think they're priceless to the family.
Yeah.
Say it was someone like Marilyn Monroe or Audrey Hepburn, an actual movie star's private images.
Yeah.
But, you know, Ken doesn't have that kind of cult following. I think she'd get a lot of negative feedback for literally bearing all in the auction room.
I'm really going to have to go for my best puncher, I think, here.
A less contentious item that Hetty also wishes to pawn is a dress she believes once belonged to legendary ballerina Margot Fonteyn.
The most expensive Fontaine piece was the black tutu from Swan Lake.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine so.
That when she danced with Nureyev.
Yeah.
And that made 33,000 plus premium.
Blimey.
So tell me what documentation you've got to support this.
What we have got is an email from the Royal Opera House.
OK, what we need is not an email like this, which says, I believe, used to work in the wardrobe department, said they thought the costume was from. We really need to have this nailed.
Right. Thank you very much for your time.
That's all right.
The pictures, they have got no intrinsic value. As for the Margot Fonteyn outfit, which I always thought was the crown, if we can find some pictures of her actually wearing it, it'll take the money up.
James and the team often need an expert eye to help value and prove items are what their customers say they are.
Basically, one of the biggest problems behind pawnbroking is fakes. There's thousands of fakes. If we get it wrong, basically we've lost all our money. So whether it's £100,000 or £1,000, and I don't like losing money.
Today, James is visiting his art expert Ben to check a painting belonging to Paul and his wife Jackie is genuine.
Hi James, good to see you. How are you? Yeah, very good. Yourself?
Yeah, good. You got the piece in then?
We do. She's over here. Been admiring her this morning.
The couple paid £25,000 for what they believe is an original by contemporary British artist Kerry Darlington.
Yeah, it's stunning. It's very rare for her to paint this scale, and it's very rare for her to paint figurative work. She does about one a year, so it's quite a special piece.
Right. In terms of the numbers that are out there...
The last Kerry Darlington we sold, which is slightly smaller than this, was 33,000, so we might be able to chip that a little bit up.
The value of original artwork, unlike some items James loans against, can fluctuate according to fashion.
In terms of the artist's popularity at the moment, is it a sort of a growing trend?
Kerry Darlington has had a fantastic journey over the last 5-6 years. She's gone from selling possibly 8 to 9 years ago works on eBay for humble figures to being one of the best-selling artists in the UK. There's a very big demand for her figures, so you get the right buyer and they will pay what's needed to acquire it. This is a good find.
Fantastic. Ben, thanks for your time. Pleasure as usual. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks.
The painting is genuine and potentially lucrative, but back at the office, James's good fortune does not last long.
I've been really silly and not
Hello.
phoned a client back,
Yeah, we have got
which
you
is really,
here. I'm
really
ever so
bad.
sorry. We will get back to you.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we will. Thank you. Bye.
It's really bad. I feel bad because if it had been someone else, I would have absolutely gone
But
crazy
I do really
about
need to talk to you about this sort of thing because there is no excuse.
that. You piss off. Listen,
Excuses.
he only phoned up this morning.
Excuses.
I've been busy.
Well, you do say I want it done.
Part of PA and operations manager Joe's job is dealing with non-paying customers. Today, she's expecting a visit from watch owner Tauren, whose debt is seriously overdue.
The extensions that have been granted have just gone way beyond what we would normally do, and the interest owed is now more than what the loan amount was. So it's been allowed to go on far too long.
What started as a £300 loan 18 months ago has grown into over £700 worth of debt.
Unless Tauren happens to have this amount, the items are going to start getting moved on from tomorrow morning.
Hello, good afternoon.
I've come to see about my watches I pawned.
Tauren has taken a risk putting his items in, which it always is, because unless you know for sure that you're going to be able to get those items back, you risk losing them.
Come through.
Thank you.
It is annoying that I'm the one who has to do this part of it, where James has been the one saying to him, yes, all right then, mate, that's fine. All right then, yeah, no, I understand, you know. But you don't buy a dog and then bark yourself, do you? Hiya, Tauren.
Hi, Joe.
You all right?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. You've been dealing with James?
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, you were £300 loan, and then your interest that's accrued has outweighed the actual loan amount. You got now a £728.40 loan amount that needs to be cleared, and it'd have to be cleared by the close of business tonight. So,
I can't do that, so I'm going to have to...
Yeah. This is where we're at. There's no more extensions that can be granted.
Okay.
All right? We can't obviously give you your watches back, so they're going to get sold from tomorrow onwards, and that's it. There is more than likely, I'd say 99.9% chance that there's going to be a deficit against this loan. We're not going to ask you for that, but...
So you don't reckon there'll be nothing left over out of it?
No.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't really complain any more about it, can I?
I appreciate you coming in, and I want to wish you all the luck, basically.
Thank you, Joe.
I'm sorry that it hasn't
out.
worked out better for you, and I really hope things pick up for you.
Okay.
Moving forward.
Yeah, I can only do that myself, so hopefully
Yeah.
you will.
Well, I'm sure you will. You seem like a great character. I'm sure you'll be fine. Nice one.
Always be positive.
That's it.
All right, Joe,
All
thanks
right,
a lot.
thank you.
Bye now.
Cheers, Tauren.
If the sale of Tauren's watches doesn't cover his debt, there'll be a shortfall.
Oh, bless him. I thought he was smashing. It's just such a shame that he's not got his watches. I'm gutted for him. I just really hope things pick up for him. I really do.
It's not the end of the world, it's just a couple of watches, isn't it, at the end of the day? So, basically, it's done now, isn't it? So.
The watches are no longer Tauren's, and the loan may also end up costing the business. Will they be able to sell the collection and cover their losses? It's the end of another working month at the pawn shop.
He found a piece of turquoise, cut it, replaced the one that was missing, repaired all the claws so that they don't come out, cleaned it and charged me 100 quid. But I love it so much that I did it.
Right, yeah.
There you are.
If you've got any other interesting stories, just email me, yeah?
Yeah, I will.
For 3 customers, big news awaits as they discover how much the items they plan to sell or pawn are worth. Will they get life-changing sums or be left disappointed? Actress Hetty has presented a particularly tricky challenge to the team, a collection of personal mementos, and Lawrence has taken a close interest in her case.
Lawrence, you got your overnight bag with you, have you?
Don't need one, I'm a married man, James.
All right, well, let me know how you get on.
I will do.
Will you be gone long, Lawrence?
Well, you never know.
All right, well, enjoy yourself. Have a good time.
I will do. Should see you about Tuesday.
Hetty wants a loan to help her financially as she waits on a book deal for her autobiography, but she has no idea of her item's worth.
Lawrence.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you've come with tea. What a gentleman.
Well, that's the sort of guy I am.
You are. Thank you so much.
So I suppose you'll be wanting to know?
Yes.
OK. If we start off with the photographs.
Yes, OK.
Very, very difficult market. So with those, they were so totally specialist that unfortunately nobody would take them on.
OK, well that's fine.
It's not all bad news.
No, I'm fine, whatever the outcome is.
Well, I must
anyway.
admit, you know, I did get really behind your case. We have worked hard to get as much as possible.
Sure you have.
Now, the actual sort of high interest was actually the Margot Fontaine ballet outfit. And we had it verified by Kerry. She's estimated, as it is, once we get the provenance and photograph, of about 3,000 to 4,000. Now, from that, we could actually give you a loan as soon as we get the authenticity of about £2,000. How does that sound? Would that be any good to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think of all the items that I've got, I wouldn't want to part with the other things. Whereas with the Fontaine, you know, I could. Yes, a bit of extra is always good, isn't it? Yeah, great.
Brilliant, fantastic.
Thank you so much, Lawrence.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Well, it's lovely to see Hetty again. I mean, she's looking more ravenous than normal in Vivian Westwood today. Lovely to meet you.
Take care, and you. Thank you for all your trouble.
It's no trouble at all for you.
I really think that Lawrence has gone out of his way to help me. It's all a bonus. I'm really happy.
She's a lovely lady, took it very well. I mean, you know, if it had been me, you'd seen a grown man crying.
The pawn shop's customers aren't the only ones waiting on valuations.
I like this one the best.
Do you?
For a man.
It's time for Joe to find out whether the shop has made a loss on loan defaulter Tauren's watches. She's taking all 6 to their expert, Nick.
Hello, Nick. All right?
His verdict will determine how much of Tauren's £728 debt can be recouped.
That's exactly what you want to see. It's all signed inside.
Oh, yeah.
Maker's name, gold filled.
That looks brand new in there.
Yeah, it's in beautiful condition. It's really clean, which is great. Yeah, the quality of the stamp on the back all looks fine.
I've never witnessed this before.
That's not genuine.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the logo's really good on that, and even the bracelet's heavy. It looks legit.
With a fake in amongst Tauren's lot, Will the pawn shop be able to make enough on the sale of the rest of the watches to cover the loss? It's time to relay the news to James.
So, there's some good news and there's some bad news. What do you want first?
Well, the good news.
Good news is Nick wants possibly one of them, but that's only a possible.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No. The bad news is one of them's a fake.
Bottoms.
Yeah.
A fake?
One of the tags.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there were 3 tags and one of them's a fake.
OK, I don't like that.
So we got the watches valued at $915, minus the costs of the repairs, brings them down to $865. And then
He owes about...
once we've sold them, what
$700.
our costs involved have come to.
Yeah.
It might break even.
Yeah, so no good anyway, basically.
Housewife Georgina is also anxiously waiting for news. She plans to sell a 5-carat diamond ring belonging to her mum.
Excited to know now. Excited to know what the ring's going to be worth.
The proceeds will be split with her 2 sisters.
If the ring was worth roughly $45,000, that would be amazing for me and my 2 sisters. That would be great.
Hello.
Hello, is that Georgina?
Yeah, speaking.
It's Lawrence.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. How have you been feeling this week?
Excited. I'm just really excited to know now. Anxious about it all? Yes, but looking forward to knowing.
I mean, it's a really beautiful stone. It really is. I know you were looking for a figure of between 35 and 45, weren't you?
Yes, that would be great, yes.
If you landed on the 45, you'd be happy, wouldn't you?
Yes, definitely, yes. Yeah, that would be amazing.
For us 3, yes, that would be great.
Well, is it good news?
Right, we had a look at it. And we're prepared to buy it from you for $60,000.
$60,000.
So that's $20,000 each. Nice round figure.
Yes.
God, I'm shaking. I can't believe it. $20,000 each.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon.
Okay, thank
and
you.
a big gin and tonic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Carl,
Yeah?
they've just valued it.
Go on.
60,000.
Really?
20,000 each.
I don't know what to say. It's great news, isn't it? I'm shocked with that figure, really.
The money can be in the bank tomorrow. Just like that.
Happy days.
James is due to let client Paul know what he is prepared to loan against the value of his original painting. But at the 11th hour, art expert Ben calls an urgent meeting.
We spoke to Kerry. She came down, had a look. The exciting news is she wants to do a unique edition print of it.
What does that mean in terms of the value?
It's the best thing that the client could hope for. When she does a unique edition prints, they go into galleries. It's normally 100 done, 150 done, and everyone starts asking about the original. It becomes a great exposure, really, for the piece.
When artists produce limited edition prints of their works, the increased exposure can cause the value of the original to triple.
The owner's going to be happy as Larry when he hears that.
What he does now, I don't know, you need to have a conversation with him whether he decides to loan against it now. It'd be mad to sell it before the unique edition actually comes out.
OK, mate. Thanks for popping in. See you later, Ben. Cheers mate.
Thank you.
Thanks. See you. Well, from my point of view, it's the best bit of news I've had all day. It's not very often that happens. It's going to make the world of difference when it comes to the loan offer.
Awaiting James's call, the painting's owners Jackie and Paul. Paul was out of work for 18 months, so the news can't come soon enough.
I'm hoping he's going to offer me 40,000. I'm hoping. Hello.
Hi. It's James here from Prestige. How are you?
Hi James, yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad, mate.
Well, look, I've got some news for you.
I think the initial figures might have been a little bit disappointing.
Around the 30 grand mark for the piece, maybe a touch more.
As a loan, we could potentially offer 20 grand, or if you wanted to sell the piece,
We would buy it outright for around
around the 25 grand mark. I know you were quite attached to the piece.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about those numbers.
don't think they're going to work for us, James, to be honest.
Well, look, I've got some
Much better news than that, which I don't mind telling you about.
about is that we've actually spoke to Kerry herself.
She's actually going to do
A limited edition.
print of that actual
Is
piece,
she?
so which means
The artwork would be worth a lot more money.
it means that
The item will be worth 90 grand,
Would it?
yeah, 90 grand plus. So
possibly over 100 grand.
Wow.
Ben's confirmed that to me. So
that's
on
fantastic.
that basis, we could potentially
Offer you more money as a loan,
or buy it potentially off
of you now, but I think you'd be
wise to keep hold of it.
Keep hold of it for now until she does. Do you know, James, that's fantastic news.
I think I'll take your advice,
James, we'll wait and for Kerry to do the limited editions and go from there. And wow, that's fantastic news. That's even better news, James.
I don't think you'll have any problems getting 90 grand for that piece.
Fantastic. Do you know that's the best news I've ever had, James?
Okay,
that's
mate.
fantastic.
Cheers. See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
But listen to this, Jack. Kerry has informed James she's going to do a limited edition of that in May that will make the painting worth £90,000 to £100,000. That's even better news. Oh, God. God. Very surprised. I couldn't wish for better news than that. We're right down to our last penny in the bank account. Me spent the whole lot. Wow, what an investment, eh?
Paul and Jackie now have the option of safely pawning their painting, knowing the value will increase over the coming months.
I don't show my emotions much, I tend to hide them, but I was getting to a point where, it's getting to me really, and that's a godsend. That is a big relief.
That's brilliant.
Oh, fantastic. Mwah.